From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big day here on Early Mornings LA with incredible great details about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording direct from Santa Monica, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we got to the recon. A done deal signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon, the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. And we'll learn why the Purple Hawks are going to kill it under fourth stimulus recon, and why Donut Guy may be left sort of guessing what donut is in their hand. Then we cut to the big world exclusive, as the number one guy in DC for your MSC wants to give you that monthly stimulus check. What does he want to do, and how does he want to do it? I have all the incredible details in this video. And then we meet one viewer who got $80,000 in 1 week and then turned around and then showed others how to get another $100,000 on top of that. I have all the incredible great details as we heat up a beautiful early mornings broadcast direct from the beach, direct from Santa Monica, because the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing here on a big early mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day across the coast and across the land, and I'm so excited for you to join me on this big early mornings broadcast. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we go to the comments from Ron Clayan, who says it's a done deal. $3.5 trillion recon done deal, confirming my incredible reporting on this channel. We'll be going over those MSCs that the world exclusive delivered this channel the details over the weekend. Monthly stimulus checks from the number one guy in Congress, and it's coming to you. Then we'll cut to one viewer who went from $80,000 to an additional $100,000 of stimulus. How did that viewer get this $100,000 on top of $80,000, and how you can do it as well? I'll go over all those incredible details and more as we go into this big early mornings LALATE. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, live in the morning, taped in the afternoon. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto, then Mornings LALATE live on air at 9, then Mornings Crypto live on air at 10, and then noontime at 11. If you're new to this channel covers a lot in a given video. We're going to be going over the monthly stimulus checks. In a world exclusive you're only going to hear on this channel, you're going to hear it nowhere else, from the number one guy on the number one item wants to give you MSC, and the information you're going to hear is directly from him to this channel. Then we'll be cutting to the big money that's elsewhere in this fourth stimulus, all application pays, and what that means for you. Then you're going to learn how to get big sums of money in this recording, massive sums of money. I'm not talking about a few $100s. It's money you need right now. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Reckon I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Meantime, if you haven't signed up for those LA alerts, what are you doing? It's totally free. It's in the description of this video. And if you signed up and haven't watched for that confirmation email, watch for it. It may be in the spam folder. You can start over if you haven't seen it. Hit that blue button and you're ready to confirm. And there you go. You'll get those alerts wherever you are and on the road. And with that, let's cut to the deliciousness of those monthly stimulus checks. Who wants you to have them and how they want you to have them? Let's go over all the details. Warren, Sanders, and Wyden want you to have a monthly stimulus check. But they don't say the number of checks and they don't say the amount. AOC, Omar, saying $2,000 a month, but they're not saying the number of checks. Then we have the House Ways and Means Committee calling for a fourth stimulus check, but not saying the amount or the number of checks. Of course, Americans are demanding $2,000, but they're not saying how many checks. But then the one that's captivating a country has been that House bill, which is pandemic plus 1 year, which would be at least $13,000. And there you go. Vote House or Senate, House or Senate. Tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. Who gets that fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. If you got third, you get a fourth stimulus check. Marry a couple, a single individual, everyone across the board. Single individual, 75,000 or less, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Marry a couple, 150,000 or less, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, wearable benefits, Democrats want you to have a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income, it's not taxable, and it'll be the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents. And it also won't be a waivable check. In the final 15 minutes of this video, stay to the very end, you're going to see how the number one guy in DC wants you to have a fourth stimulus check and wants it to be monthly. I have all the incredible world-exclusive details in the final 15 minutes of this video. Between him and this channel, it's coming up. Stay to the final 15. Then we'll be cutting to fifth stimulus as well. But first, let's get some money. And let's start by talking cold turkey. You know and I know that fourth stimulus checks are not landing this week. They weren't landing last week. And you need money. Well, the money that's available for you right now, and a lot of it, is third stimulus. Viewers are getting $20, $40, $80, $100, $120,000 for this channel under third stimulus. And yeah, it's a lot of money, and it's your money to get right now. Let's start with our inspiration. Our inspiration, his name is Johnny. Johnny, 2 weeks ago from this channel, was one of 3 viewers who started the week at $0. But by the middle of the week, he and 2 other viewers were at $40,000 from 3 items. Johnny didn't stop there, and he kept on pushing. And by the weekend, which was 2 weekends ago, Johnny was at $80,000 and 7 items approved. But he didn't stop there. A week later, in a week after that, 5 days after that, he helped get 2 other people $100,000. Oh my goodness. So let's go over what Johnny got first. Johnny got $80,000 from this channel. He got $12,000 for SNAP. He got $10,000 for EIDL. He got $1,000 for taxes. He got $21,000 for housing. He got another $9,000 for electric and utilities. He got $25,000 for housing again. And then he got $50 a month for internet and telephone, bringing his grand total to $80,000. Incredible, great news. Now, what did Johnny do after that? After he got $80,000 in 5 days, he reached out to his friends and family and said, you know what, that kid out of LALATE, I got $80,000. They said, from what? Third stimulus. Third stimulus, you mean that $1,400 stimulus check? Yeah. Well, I'm just waiting for the fourth stimulus check. I'm just waiting for something automatically to land in my hand. He said, no, there's money available still on the third stimulus. They thought he was pulling their leg. This is the conversation, Johnny says. Just like you've been reporting, I was talking about you to my friends and family, and as of today, I've helped 5 friends save their homes. Wow. And put the food on their table, and 3 family members thought I was full of it. Now imagine where we are right now. If this sounds eerily similar to something, it should. When third stimulus was passed in January of 2020, a lot of people were just talking about a stimulus check, $1,400. And I said there's a lot of other money in there. And even right now, some people are talking about fourth stimulus checks, but it's not landing in your bank account this week. Third stimulus is. And Johnny, when talking to his family members, they didn't even believe him that there was other money still in third stimulus for them to get. They thought I was full of it. So I told them about SNAP because it was a SNAP, and oh my God, that 2 family members got it. He told them, and they got it. How much did they get? $100,000. One family member got $41,500, and the other viewer got the other family member got $57,600. This has been awesome to see people stop stressing about bills. Your channel has helped so many, and is myself tremendously. You're such a godsend. Purple Power, Purple Hawk. There you go. There's Johnny. So we're going to get some money for rent, utility, mortgages, and homeowners utilities for you right now. Get a pen and paper ready. Let's start with that rent. Rent is paying viewers a lot of money from this channel. They're getting far in excess of $20,000. Purple Hawks, Purple Power, Calcino VIP, the link is under the video, are getting over $20,000 of rent. Let's look at the incredible numbers starting right now. There you go. Wow. Look at it. $27,000. Elizabeth, Purple Hawk, all the way to $20,000. Then Johnny got $9,000 for utilities. Why is this going higher? Because the viewers, the more they watch this channel, the more they subscribe, the more they're Purple Hawks, they're learning better and better how to get these sums of money. Then this money for SNAP. You're going to meet someone in a second who got more than even these numbers. He's now looking at $25,000. And then we have the incredible details of combos. Nancy getting $32,000 for 3 items on this channel. Nisi, $23,000, 3 items. And there's Mark at 2 items at $32,000. Now, I'm going to have the second update for Mark later this week. But here's the first update. Mark had gotten 2 items for this channel at 32,000, but I said to Mark at 5 days on camera, go get the other sums of money. And the third sum is Snap. Go get it. He got it within 5 days. Wonderful, great news, number one. Number two, he told his friends about this channel, and that friend got $20,000 of rent in less than 5 days. There you go. And that is not an anomaly, because we had Shanann, Purple Hawk of 2 months, last week and say, I told my friend about you, LA, and she's now addicted, and she got $21,000 as well, that friend. Incredible details. Then Mark realized that people like Johnny were getting 7 items. So Mark is now trying to get multiple items. And finally, Mark got that got that Snap. How much did Snap did Mark get? Mark got $19,000 for Snap, bringing his grand total to $50,500. And that's not the ceiling, folks, because we have no ceiling. As Lorraine on this channel got over $105,000, because this is what we do, this is LALATE. I know there's a lot going on in this video. You're looking for the information about those monthly stimulus checks. We're looking about the checks that are in the fourth stimulus recon, that are application based. And now we're talking about all these checks that are available for me on the third stimulus. This is what we've been doing. I've been doing since day one when I launched this channel to get people money for that EIDL loan and EIDL grant that was not coming out. They had applied and their applications were stuck in the 330, the 331, and the 48 vortex. But one after another, I got their applications approved. And the incredible details is that in getting their applications approved, we got $25 million of EIDL loans, saving people's homes, their businesses' homes, and their employees as well. Then 3 days later, a new application was going live in the federal government. It was a very new and very confusing application. People didn't understand it. I detailed how to do it. And some states didn't go live for 2-3 months, like Texas and Florida. Eileen Bellenkamp got $15,000 from me. And what was this? It was PUA, that confusing application. But then in fall 2020, just like now, there was no stimulus check coming. You needed it, but there was none in December. So I stepped forward and got viewers $250,000 of money for rent. Like Tyrone and his family 4 out of Boston got that money for rent. And now we're doing it bigger and bolder than ever before. So get a pen and paper ready. We're going to go over the big sums of money starting right now. We're going to get some rent, utility, mortgage assistance, and homeowners utilities starting right now. Here's some introductory remarks. I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. If one says no, reach out to the next. Number 2. Each place has different eligibility. Each place has their own pot of money. So the first one says no, just keep on moving to the next one. Then, also remember there's keywords I'm going to say in this video. The keywords really help. Make sure you say those to get approved. And finally, remember that every state was given the same amount of money across the board from the federal government. All right, here are the 6 places you're going to reach out to. Your city hall, your city housing authority. That's 2. Your county hall, your county housing authority. That's 4. And your state hall and your state housing authority. That's 6. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID, and there you go. Congratulations to Tim and Linda, who got this wonderful pot of money as well. And if you're on the live chat, post your success story that you got for rent and utilities. The next pot of the money is the money for SNAP, and it is absolutely deliciousness. It is your money for food. You get it from the Department of Agriculture. But guess what? Mark, who got $19,000, will now be looking at $25,000 annually, lifetime, because of this channel. What went on? It happened 2 weeks ago. Live on air, I delivered the breaking news as the Department of Agriculture announced that everyone's SNAP benefits are going up in October, an average of 25%, lifetime automatically that month. Oh my goodness. And if you got this money for SNAP as well, post in the live chat right now. Viewers like Lynn Glenn and Gail got as well. The next part of the money is the refund check coming back from your state due to overpayment of computer-errored unemployment benefits. Federal government's order those benefits paid to you. And this has paid out $3,000, has paid out $5,000 for viewers. Finally, the last part of the money is the refund check coming from IRS for that 2020 tax return. You pay taxes on the unemployment benefits. Margaret got it, Cog got it, Michael got it. And the average payment is anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000. More about that in a second. But here's a personal message from me to you. I launched this channel to get help get people big sums of money under all these stimulus packages. The spirit of this channel is helping. So if you're on the live chat, post your success stories for rent, utility, mortgage, and utility assistance you've gotten from this channel. When you do, you inspire people. People need that inspiration. Just pick up the phone. Just pick up the phone and call. That's what Johnny kept on telling his family members. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it until he pushed, and finally they picked up the phone. and now they have $100,000. People need that encouragement. They realize it's a lot of money. It's not money you should pass up. Remember where we are right now. The eviction moratorium not being extended anymore on the federal level. The federal enhanced unemployment benefits not getting extended. State enhanced unemployment benefits not getting extended. The job creation number last Friday, bad. COVID variant, Delta ravaging out of control. You need money. You need money. So inspire people to pick up the phone and get this big sum of money. And let's cut back to those unemployment benefits. Where is that check landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. You can go to iris.gov and do a transcript search. And 70% of the time it will work. It'll reveal the refund check you filed. It will reveal the refund check you're getting, the tax return you filed, and the tax refund check you're getting back. And can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of this Fourth Stimulus Check Update 2021, starting right now. Deal, done, signed, sealed. A $3.5 trillion recon is a done deal with checks from the American people. Number one, there will be a recon. Number two, it will be $3.5 trillion. And number three, it's all checks from the American people. First, second, and third stimulus recon, a minuscule amount compared to this recon, which is a behemoth. Previous recons dedicated almost all to corporations. This is all for the American people. Ironically, President Joe Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, appeared on broadcast media yesterday and said the same thing I've been reporting on this channel. Only difference, he was not wearing a purple shirt. He said the recon's done. We did that 2 weeks ago. There you go. More about those provisions of what's in that recon in the final 15 minutes of this video. But how do we get to the spot? By taking the roads and bridges out of the recon and putting it in the bipartisan. A conservative publication confirms my reporting. The higher the price tag was on the recon initially, the harder it was to pass. But by taking out the roads and bridges from the recon, putting in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. There you go. In other words, the bipartisan made the recon passable. Now, there's two ways to look at reporting. There's two ways to look at reporting, and there's two ways to report news. I deliver news on this channel way before it happens. Breaking news on this channel means far before the event occurs. In the month of June and July, I told you that the recon procedure was going to pass before the vote ever happened in even August. How'd I know? Because the Democratic caucus had met, House and Senate, to agree to do a recon at a price tag of $3.5 trillion. And they got it done. What you're learning for the first time on Early Mornings LALATE starting right now is the way the Democrats do bills with Democrats, because the recon is just Democrat with Democrat. They don't need a Republican vote on this. The way they do it is they go and meet them and chat with them and say, hey, what do you think about this recon? What do you think about the recon? They first meet privately, agree orally to the terms, then that's the agreement. Then that gets memorialized by writing it up. And then when they call for a vote, it's just ceremonial because they've already agreed upon this when they were verbally talking. Now, that is why Representative Ilhan Omar and Democrat and progressive Richie Torres, both from the Progressive Caucus wing of the Democratic Party, had told the president, you know, we need a recon that goes as big and bold as we want it. And they got it, $3.5 trillion. That was during the negotiation times. And once everyone had negotiated and agreed upon the $3.5 trillion, the president said, protect my recon, because everything in there is progressive checks, the White House priorities and the progressives' priorities. That's what Schatz and Jalopal confirms in their conversations with the president. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? Let's go over the difference of the two items. Let's go over what a recon procedural is and a recon substantive is. Now, just a second ago, I revealed to you that the recon procedural is a done deal. That's passed. The way they did that was agreeing upon the provisions and then reducing it to writing and then calling the vote on something they already agreed to. They're going to do the same thing with the recon substantive. The only difference is they've been working on the recon substantive all week long, all month long. Recon is your money, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill, price tag $3.5 trillion. Also called the Democratic spending plan, the social reform plan. Not your money, bipartisan, roads and bridges, infrastructure, price tag $1.5 trillion. We had 3 bills to do last week, but the first one is done because the tow truck has passed over the finish line. Reconciliation procedural is done. Now we're doing recon sub and bipartisan. Let's go over what recon procedural is versus recon sub. A word you want to watch, because I'm going to bring it up in the final 15 minutes of this video, stay with me to the very end, is the word committees. Recon procedural says, are we doing a recon? Yeah. $3.5 trillion? Yes. And we're giving the money to this committee at $10 here and $20 to that committee? Yes. Then once the committee has the money, how are they spending the money? Those are the terms and conditions of what recon substantive is. Tow truck has passed over the finish line. That's the procedural. Tow hitch is ready to be picked up. That is the recon substantive. How do we get to this wonderful spot? From Jalopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying, check out the vote on the recon. The letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100-plus House Democrats, who wrote the president saying they want to give you a monthly stimulus check. Now, over the weekend, you met a new cast member on this channel. Her name is Freedom of Speech Frida, or Freedom Frida. What does she say? I should have freedom of speech to say my fake facts. Fake facts include that Tucker Carlson created Labor Day. Yeah, she just has a lot of fake facts. So what is one of her fake facts? One of her favorite fake facts is, no one is talking about a stimulus check. Yeah, they're all talking about stimulus checks. In fact, it's hard to find a Democrat that's not talking about the stimulus checks. That's a Republican narrative that no one's talking about stimulus check. Well, the only people not talking about stimulus checks are the Republicans who don't want to give you one. It's the Democrats that are talking nonstop about it. Who are the people who are talking about it? Well, we have Warren, Wyden, and Sanders in that letter to the president saying we want monthly stimulus check. We have AOC and Omar on the House side. We have 100-plus House Democrats who signed on to that House bill. We have the members of the House Ways and Means Committee. And of course, we have 4 million Americans who are calling for our $2,000 stimulus check. So you need to push purple power. And can we top that? Yes, as Ron Klain confirms this part of the recording. It's a global minimum corporate tax rate that I always talk about that made it easier because it's out of the recon. Now the recon's easier to pass. Well, that global minimum corporate tax rate also make sure that the recon is done by not raising the national debt. It's paid entirely by corporate taxes. Corporate taxes involve corporations that are making, let's say, over $1 billion of revenue a year, but are paying $0 in taxes. 55 of them are. That would change, and that would pay for the forced stimulus recon. Wow, can we top that? Yes, as we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, we'll go over the world exclusive about these monthly stimulus checks. We'll be going over those application-based checks under forced stimulus recon. And then we'll cut to fifth stimulus as well. But first, if you've gotten one item under third stimulus, you're going to be ready for the rest under fourth stimulus. And here's a little bit about the community page will help you get the other items you can't get. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Early Mornings Ally continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and Early Mornings LA continues live from the coast with big breaking details about that fourth stimulus check and why the Democrats want you to have more months of checks. We'll be cutting to the world exclusive you're only hearing on this channel with the #1 guy who wants to give you a monthly stimulus check. Then we'll be cutting to the application-based items that are in that fourth stimulus recon and why you're going to clean up across the board. Why the donut guy will be left with just a donut, but the Purple Hawks will have big amounts of checks. And then we cut to fifth stimulus and more. But first, it's a big, bold, beautiful morning. I'm so excited for you to join me and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. Reckon I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. The link's under the video description. Meantime, if you haven't signed up for those LA alerts, what are you doing? Totally free. You don't want to miss a single video across the board. Watch for that confirmation email. It's in the spam folder potentially. Click it, and then you're ready to rock and roll. And with that, let's cut to the deliciousness of this stimulus, which, guess what? It's September, as calendar Colleen would remind us. Step one is they're going to raise your benefit limits up. Then they're going to remove the asset limit, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. This starts drafting in September, out for a vote in November. How does this work? Step one is they're going to raise your benefits up a lifetime. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Step one is they're going to raise your benefits. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Where's inflation going? It's going up a lot. The EU Central Bank will be meeting this week to determine tapering because of their concerns about inflation. Inflation worries are now growing in Brazil, which are heading to 5%. I'm reporting that the transitory inflation number of later this year could be upwards of 5%. New chip shortages, like semiconductor chip shortages, were detailed today and yesterday from companies like Volkswagen that say that the chip shortage could go on for years. Big concerns for this. This could raise your benefits a lot. Step one, they raise your benefits up. Then they apply the benchmark. If it's 5%, you go up for another 5%, not just next year, but lifetime. Because once your benefits go up, they never go down. Then they're going to move the asset cap dating back to the 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away, and you'll be able to have some stimulus checks in your hand. They're going to move the income cap dating back to the 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to end. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest like Rob and Sandy. Meantime, will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be, says the House Ways and Means Committee. And lastly, if you're in the live chat and you see there's people with an emoji of a Purple Hawk behind their name, what are you doing? You need to become a member right today. Purple Hawk or Purple Power or Calcino VIP. The benefits of membership is that daily I deliver to you via the YouTube and LLA community page alert system a breakdown of all the big money available for you under first, second, and third stimulus, and what's proposed under fourth and fifth stimulus. When third stimulus launched and became law, I launched Purple Hawks because I said, hey, $1,400 third stimulus check, sure, it's in there, but I'll get you $14,000. There's a lot of other money in there. And now Purple Hawks' channel are getting $40,000 routinely, $30,000, $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 routinely. Purple Hawks has shown that, yeah, unless you exhaust every last penny under third stimulus, there's a lot of money still for you to get. Don't be focusing on the next stimulus package, fourth, and that check if you haven't gotten every last penny you can get under third stimulus. And there you go. Consider becoming a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Calcino VIP. The link is under the video. And with that, let's go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now with the fourth stimulus recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. That's ironically not just what I say, but what Ron Klain, President Biden's chief of staff, said over the weekend. He said, hey, the recon's already done. We voted on this. The framework is already done. Framework, recon procedural, same words. There will be a recon. It will be $3.5 trillion. It will be the largest recon we've ever had on this channel. It'll be all for the American people, while the previous recons have been mostly for corporations. And it'll all be checks. Application-based checks. What does that mean? It means you have to pick up the phone and call because they don't know you need this money. Application items are things like dental or vision. IRS doesn't know anything about your eyes. They don't know anything about your teeth, your gums. They don't know anything about your internet. And that's why early in this video I said pay attention to the word committees, because that's what's at issue. The committees will have your money. You're going to pick up the phone and call and say, I want that money. You've been doing this all along. We've been doing this as a family since the very first stimulus package, where you picked up the phone and say, I want that money. I qualify for it, whether it's PEBT or SNAP or PPP or rent or PUA or EIDL. You've been doing this all along. You pick up the phone and say, I want that money. Because guess what? IRS doesn't know about your swimsuit or your surfboard or your rent or your food or your hair, your teeth. They just don't know about it. So there's no way for IRS to send that money out to you anywhere across the board. Let's go over some of the items that are proposed under forced stimulus recon and why this makes so much more obvious sense. Here are some of the proposed items, not law, but proposed. Free school meals for all, checks. Then cheaper prescription medication, checks. Checks for free internet, checks for checks for farmers, checks for workers, like checks for independent contractors, checks for dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing aids, checks for seniors, checks for lowering the eligibility age of Medicare. There you go. So IRS can't send out a check for your dental or vision. They just don't know about it. That's why you'll pick up the phone and call. Now, Johnny, you saw in this video earlier in this video, where he started the week at 0 items he got. By the middle of the week, he was at 3 items. And then by the weekend, he got 7 items. Imagine how well Johnny's going to do under forced stimulus, because forced stimulus is going to have a lot of items for Johnny to get and you to get to pick up the phone and call. So that you're not going to just pick up the phone and get 1 check. You're going to pick up the phone 7 times and get 7 checks under third stimulus. Imagine how many you're going to get in a fourth stimulus. That's a gazillion% bigger. A lot of checks, and this is why Purple Hawks are going to do really well under forced stimulus. And with that, we go to the world exclusives about these monthly stimulus checks starting right now. Now, let's understand what we have to deal with. I'm one guy on a set with some beautiful orchids behind me. On the other side is broadcast media. Broadcast media that has billions of dollars in the bank, and they have hundreds of local affiliates across the country in the local news markets. When the broadcast national station runs a story saying, we have not heard about forced stimulus check, they send it out to their local affiliates. So the local station in the local cities run the story. We haven't heard about a forced stimulus check. The reason why they haven't heard about one is they haven't asked. All the Democrats have been proposing forced stimulus checks, but have they asked anyone in recent days? No. And that's the difference here. Several weeks ago, I told viewers this channel to pick up the phone and call their senators, Democrats, to push for an MSC, a monthly stimulus check. And that's what one viewer, WR, did with Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Senator, Joe Biden old confidant. Called up and spoke to his staffer of Chris Coons. Said, is Senator Chris Coons proposing a monthly stimulus check? The staffer said yes. There you go. You think someone could have picked up the phone else and gotten a comment? No. In the scope of reporting, journalism involves getting a source and going to the source for the information. What's the number one source for determining whether it would be a monthly stimulus check? The committee and its chairman that's doing the stimulus check. What is the recon's full name? The full name of the recon is the Forced Stimulus Reconciliation Budget Bill. And what is that committee that does this budget bill? The Budget Committee, the Senate Budget Committee. Sort of obvious. Budget Committee, Budget Bill. Yeah. And who's in charge of that Budget Committee? The Budget Chairman who's in charge of the Budget Committee with the Budget Bill. Yeah, it's sort of obvious. And what's his name? Bernie Budget Sanders. There you go. Head of the Budget Committee that does the Budget Bill for the budget. It just, reoccurring, very simple. So you would have thought if there was a question about whether there's a stimulus check in the budget and you're a broadcast channel, with hundreds of billions of dollars in the bank, you would pick up the phone and at least make 1 phone call. It doesn't take a lot of money. Just pick up the phone and call and say, hi, Bernie, is there a stimulus check in the forced stimulus recon? No, they didn't make the phone call. They didn't care to make the phone call. They were more focused on whether Courtney and Kim have the same eyeshadow on. And that was the scope of their reporting. So they ran out these stories that say, we haven't heard about forced stimulus recon because you never asked. So what happened? Ironically, last week, Bernie Sanders basically said, ask me. He basically said that. You think they asked? They didn't ask. And that's why I told viewers to pick up the phone and call. Bernie Sanders had a quote last week that said, hey, prior budget chairman basically did everything in D.C., but I like to get out amongst the people when working on the budget. What do you think that means? I translated that to viewers. It means he wants to hear from you what you think should be in the budget. So that weekend, I told viewers to pick up the phone and call Bernie Sanders. Not a lot of you called at the time. Lynn Glenn called, and Brother Joshua, a 2020 volunteer for the community page and a longtime viewer, picked up the phone, called Bernie Sanders' congressional office in D.C., and asked about whether there's a monthly stimulus check in there. And the staffer told Brother Joshua, yes. Yes, yes. Now, look how easy that was for the broadcast media to do. The number one guy on clearly the number one committee, they could have just picked up the phone in 1 second and asked him. Did they ever do that? No way. So Purple Power, turn off broadcast media. Purple Power, stop using search engines. Purple Power, stop looking at other YouTube channels. Because no one's picking up the phone and asking anyone except this channel. There is no good reporting out there. Bad reporting across the board. So let's go back over what happened then after that. During that conversation with the staff at Bernie Sanders' office in D.C., Brother Joshua said, so tell me about what's going on. Bernie Sanders is proposing a monthly stimulus check. Yes. What are the deal provisions? Let's go over the proposals. A monthly stimulus check somewhere between $1,000 to $1,400. Yes, great news. Monthly, yes. And then finally, duration, 3 to 6 months. Yes, great news. Is there a catch? There is. Bernie Sanders staffer said, but Bernie Sanders, before he proposes, wants to make sure you have his back. This is easy, Purple Power. This is easy. We got this one. You push, Purple Power. That's what we do. We push. And in 2020, all in 2020, people would say, is any congressional leader having our back? Are they even hearing us? This time it's the reverse. Congressional leaders are saying, the congressional leaders asking us if we hear him and if we have his back. You got this, Purple Power. I launched Purple Power last year after people were referring to me as Mr. Purple because I wore a lot of purple shirts outside. And at the time, people were trying to get their EIDL and their PUAs approved. I said, you got this. You have the power. You have the Purple Power as well. I have the Purple Power. You have the Purple Power as well. But in the weeks to come, I expanded the term to basically say, you need to push and ensure they give you the right stimulus under second stimulus. You have that Purple Power. And we had a lot of historic events, a lot of game-changing historic events. We had everything early on where Steve Mnuchin increases his stimulus check offer because of this channel and increased the number and the dependency and the qualification of the check. But the big success story, the historic one where we changed history, was when they were not delivering a second stimulus. It had fallen apart, and yet they had to do a continuing resolution budget bill. I said, put a stimulus check in there. CR for stimulus. I started the campaign and you pushed CR for stimulus. Put a stimulus check in the CR. They thought I was bonkers. It's a continuing resolution. No one puts a stimulus check in there. No one puts stimulus in there. I said, I don't care. You're putting other crazy stuff that doesn't belong in there. Put this one in there. And initially, they put some unemployment stimulus. We said, that's the wrong one. You need a stimulus check in there. And we pushed and we got it in there. And that became your second stimulus check. We made history. Now, the number one guy on the number one committee for the budget for your stimulus wants you to make history again. Instead of reporting the news, you're ready to be making the news. He wants your support. So pick up the phone. Call Bernie Sanders. Say, I support you. I support you. Be professional, respectful, kind. I support you. Thank you for doing this. Yes, get it done. Thank you. Call up Elizabeth Warren. Call up Chris Coons. Call up Bernie. Call up Ron Wyden and say, yes, I support you. I want a monthly forced stimulus check in the forced stimulus recon. There you go. This is what we do as a family. Now, let's check back in with the rest of the cast of characters that are not particularly part of this family, but they sort of just flow through. There she is, Count Colleen. I laugh because yesterday on Afternoons LA, the 1 o'clock show, there actually was someone in the comments whose name was Colleen. I just thought maybe she established the account to mirror the fictitious character Count Colleen. The viewer's comment in the chat was, it's September. Did they even notice what's going on? No, really? Come on. The irony of that. Count Colleen is having dates with this guy with a strange eyebrow. His name is Count Cod. And Count Cod keeps on saying, whatever happened to July, whatever happened to August, do they keep their promise? Count Cod is too focused on the past and not focused on the present. Then there's fake fact Frida. We call Freedom Frida. Freedom Frida wants to tell you that Tucker Carlson says no one's talking about stimulus check. Well, Tucker Carlson's not talking about a stimulus check. And no GOP members are talking about a stimulus check. In fact, that is a GOP running story, that no one's talking about stimulus checks. No, the only people not talking about it is the GOP because they're not giving you a stimulus check. And along the way, we're going to have a lot of fun this week. So I'm so excited for you to join me. But understand where we are. Let's recap. Forced stimulus check not coming this week. You need money. Eviction moratorium over. Mortgage forbearance over. Enhanced unemployment benefits over. Job creation numbers bad at the moment. Delta ravaging. So this money, third stimulus, is available right now. Get this sum of money. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. This money is available right now. It pays you fortunes. One of the first steps and first lessons I taught viewers on this channel when I launched in April 2020 is get away from financial dependence. What's financial dependence? When you're dependent upon an external event you have no control over. People are waiting for that second stimulus check to land in May 2020. I must get that check unless, if I don't get that check then, wait a second, don't ever be dependent upon the arrival of one item. You need financial independence. And as Johnny said, my friends are getting financial independence because now they're getting their bills paid, $100,000 of them. Get this big sum of money right now so you get financial independence. Second, push Purple Power because now the man who wants to give you multiple stimulus checks has your support. He needs to hear it. Call the phone and vocalize your support. The House bill, 12 months of checks, $13,000, $1,000 a month after the first month of 2000. That's $13,000, but it takes 12 months. Bernie Sanders on the high end. 6 months, $1,400. That's about $9,000. 6 months and you get $9,000 versus waiting a full 12 months for an extra $4,000. Not particularly shabby. Very, very good. Push Purple Power. Finally, make sure that you remain focused because that fourth stimulus recon will have a lot of checks in there. And along the way, stay here because when it's world exclusive, it's here. When it's breaking news, it's here. When it's financial news, it's here. When it's getting you big sums of money, it's here. And when it's a lot of love and a lot of fun and often a lot of laughs, it's also here. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Coming up next is more Overnight's Crypto. Stay on this video. It'll automatically take you there. Stay informed, stay focused. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing. And this is Early Mornings Out.